What's up, guys? Sam here, doing another gameplay slash review. This is going to be more of a gameplay than anything. For those of you that have played Dear Esther, the original mod, will know that it's different. That's the best way I could describe what it is. It's like they took all of the action elements of a first-person shooter, took those out, so that you have just walking. You don't no jump, no interaction, except for interacting with the environment. As in, you can walk around, going from destination A to destination B. But the story in this is really good. I've loved Dear Esther, the original, and from what I can tell, it looks really good. So let's hop in. I'll start from the beginning for you guys. Play this chapter.
Dear Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Now, you're going to have to forgive me for the lag and the not as high quality video quality that I normally do, or at least normally try to achieve, just because I do not have a high-end computer capable of doing this. Right here, it looks like it's an equation someone was doing. Here's something I can say I do not really like about the game. The paint, it looks like it's glowing. I don't know, is it supposed to look like it's glowing? I don't like it that it looks like that though. Ooh. Aw. That'd be cool to be able to go up there. Oh, I ducked down for a bird to get out. I didn't know he was hiding in there. More paint. Nothing else special. If I remember, I don't want to go up. It's been a while since I played the original mod. It's quite a beautiful game that they've created here. $10. Got a lighthouse out there in the distance. Zoom in a little bit and see that. It's like playing a completely new game compared to the mod. Just makes me happy. It makes it for a new experience. They did a good job timing when a gust of wind comes across your screen with the audio. It's really nice, and it's aesthetically pleasing, if I even pronounced that correctly. You can see the fog coming up off the waters. See right there, there's the gust of wind.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums, just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6, and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
This. Now, what he just said there, the making your kid cry because it's your talent, I don't really get it. Wow, such a beautiful game. I love it. Oh, lag. Don't spin so fast. I wish I didn't have to record it in half quality and get the full detail that I'm actually getting from playing this. Oh my
Dear Esther,
goodness.
I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so.
That's cool.
All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Well, apparently this was a dead end, which kind of sucks. Don't remember this section here. I keep on pushing the space bar trying to jump. Go faster, go faster. Is there like a sprint function? No. You have to, it's like the game's forcing you to go at a certain pace. It's almost like a work of art to an extent. The writer is trying to get you to feel and taste everything that you possibly can out of this. People say video games aren't a work of art. To an extent, they should be. More than anything, you can get so much more story and interaction out of a video game than you could a movie and everything else. They did a really good job designing this game. Oh, there's the lighthouse right over there. Yeah, see, oh, wait. I could have gone up. Can I make it across this? Oh, nope. Dang it. No, guess I was right. Go down. Oh, seeing these crab cages right here just makes me hungry for some crab. Crab is beautiful. Tastes very good. Very, very good, sir. Oh, back up the stairs. There's something I kind of find irritating is about the speed is if you accidentally backtrack like I just did a couple seconds ago, then now I have to go along this path all over again. If you are someone though that likes books and audio tapes, this is a game for you. Specifically designed for you more than anything, I think. Got the lighthouse right over there. Zoom in, zoom out. I like that feature.
A wonderful sight. The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
But that's not the moon, is it? I'm pretty sure that's the sun. What's he talking about? Ooh. See little islands out there. Wow. Look at the brush, everything.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Wow, this is so different than the original mod. They have some similarities, but besides that... There's a lot different.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance, that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction?
Back to Lighthouse right over there. Oh, there's a boat out there. That's pretty cool. Oh, there's a cave. I wonder if that's the cave that he was talking about earlier.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I threw my arms wide and the cliff opened out before me, making this rough home.
Oh,
I transferred
wow.
my belongings from the bothy on the mount and tried to live here instead. It was cold at night, and the sea lapped at the entrance at high tide. To climb the peak, I must first venture even deeper into the veins of the island, where the signals are blocked altogether. Only then will I understand them, when I stand on the summit and they flow into me, uncorrupted.
So apparently I was right when I said that the paint apparently was glow, and that's the design of the game. Fish. Ugh. Bread. Bones. Ugh. Rotting fish, too. What you got going on in here? When I remember playing the mod version of this game, I remember this cave being a lot more creepy. They've done a good job making the game feel more alive than the previous mod version. I don't really like how the water is so clear right here. I could understand sometimes some places in the world water is pretty clear, but I mean usually there's like a fog or a haze to it from dirt particles or whatnot. Oh my goodness. Beautiful soundtrack. I love it so much. I'll sell the soundtrack separate compared to the game. Get a bunch of people buying
The
that.
vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish, the sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer, that we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and ribcage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
I have one question. He said that the water was too polluted, but it doesn't look like that at all. What is this? This wasn't in the game, the previous version. Hey, is that the Bible? It is. Look at that. That is hilarious. What's next to it? What does that say? Something chemistry. Public book. Units in chemistry. Okay. Interesting. Something to do with chemistry. I wonder if this hermit, whatever, is trying to clean this island. Wow, look at that. That's a pretty sight, is it not? One thing I like about this game is it loads once and then it's basically done. It loads as it goes. It loads the map. I do not remember this part in the game. It's kind of creepy. But if you think about it, this... Oh, great. Oh.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Now, apparently I was wrong about there being loading screens. If I remember correctly, you don't need to go that direction just because it's like a dead end or something like that. So I don't intend going that way. Oh, but you're missing a part of the story, Sam. What are you doing? You need to go and say hi and get the narrator to talk some more. Oh, there's a guy right there? There's a dude over there. I never noticed that. Okay, we're going back. Going back and checking that out. I never knew that there was a person. Was there never a person in the previous version of this game? Is that something that implant? Comment below. Let me know if the previous version of this game had a guy walking on this ledge, because I don't remember seeing a guy walking on this ledge at all. Is there gonna be a dude over here? Did they change it so there's like a guy that you talk to? It definitely would change the atmosphere of the game. Wow, does this loop all the way around? I don't see him. Do you double back? Nope, I don't see him. I'm hoping someday I'll get a really good computer and use the one I have right now to record videos from the other computer, so you can get the full
the boy has kept
quality.
me lucid. I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge and I watched the idiot boy blink through the night.
Really?
He's mute and he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf-mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw a guy walking over here. I'm not crazy. Well, you guys got your stupid extra audio commentary thingy there. I have to walk all the way back. I like how there's actually a ship here. Before there was a ship, or before the previous version there was a ship, but it wasn't nearly as bad like this. There's like a little mini fishing boat. Now there's like this huge, I don't know, huge cargo ship. It looks more than anything because you got these cargo boxes. Is that the fishing boat over top? If I jump and look if I could, but I can't. Yep, there's the little fishing boat. Oh my goodness. Let's carry on.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic. Your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Alright, just a second. Let me get a... There we go. I want a clock. I want to know what time it is. It's 1 o'clock. I got an hour to record. I wonder if YouTube will let me record this in a full hour, or if I'm going to have to put it into 2 parts. What's down there? Oh, I jump. Oh, I can't jump over this. Oh, here's a little shortcut. What is this?
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
That's cool. Got the wind blowing into that. Yeah. Oh, cool. You could hear stuff falling down in there. The wind blowing against it. Kind of like when you're blowing over a glass soda bottle. Ooh.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
My question is, how did he get to this island? I don't remember him talking about that. I wonder if it was because he was trying to get worthy of that monk's solitude or whatever he was talking about.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobson, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it.
That sucked.
No one to carve white lines into the cliff for him, either. When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs, and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Oh, there's a guy over there. I am not crazy. I swear I just saw that. Oh, that's kind of creepy. I wonder if they changed this so at the end you get to see him. That'd be so cool. I'd feel a lot of satisfaction. If I remember correctly, you're... Oh wow, you got the frame of a boat.
The editor comments that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes. They found Jakobson in early spring, The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose.
Damn.
All around him, small flowers were reaching for the weak sun. The goats had adjusted happily to life without a shepherd and were grazing freely about the valley. Donnelly reports they hurled the body in fear and disgust down the shaft, but I cannot corroborate this story.
I wonder if they're talking about the shaft, that big hole back there. I'm going to end up going through these tunnels and end up finding this frozen body or something. Oh, that's so gross. Yeah, there's the...
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Ow. Candle looks pretty incredible. Actually looks like a actual fire. You don't get very many of those in the game. Uh-huh. Oh, no. I have to. That's probably the slip that he was talking about. Yep, that's the slip he's talking about.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing inconstantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Can I get up now? Ooh, that's not good. No more flashlight for you. Ooh. Wow. Those of you that don't play video games, you have to at least admit that this is absolutely gorgeous. So many colors. The fungus glows a green glow. Wow. It feels like I'm crawling. Was I crawling? Yeah, apparently I am. Holy cow. I don't remember if I have to go down there or not. Wow, the audio is just... it's incredible.
They'd stop the traffic back as far as the Sandford Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
Well, apparently I do have to fall down. Great. It's interesting how that one... okay, there's three. Those three candles are able to light up this entire area. I think if I was the game designer, the one thing I'd change is to make the light flicker a little bit. Oh wow, you got the reflection of the water on the ceiling. Well, nowhere else to go. I guess. Can I go up? Nope. Nope. Down. Holy cow. That was beautiful. So good. Oh, this would be so slippery. And here's I think the water is too shiny there, from my personal opinion. Wow. Still, other than less. It's a beautiful game. Oh. Wait. Really? Ah. I have a feeling I'm going to slip here. Please don't. Yes. Oh! That scared me. Is that blood? That could easily qualify for blood. I don't like that very much. What's cool is the game actually downloaded relatively fast for me. Like 3 megabits a second. Don't judge. I don't have a fast internet connection. But yeah, for the speed, getting this game, how many hours I might put into it, maybe 3, possibly 2. $10. Eh.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
Wow. Just imagine going to a place like this actually, an actual place in the world. That's the dead end down there. Hey, what's that? See, now that's water. It's, flowing, pushing me along. Oh, it's eggs. Something nested here and hatched their young. Love the crystals. I do. There's another little bit of, I don't want to call it graffiti. Chemical equation of some type, I guess. Wow, if I had a food supply, a water supply, I could live on an island like this. Medical. It'd suck though to fall and break your femur and have it get infected. Man, painkillers will be your friend. Oh wow. Oh, can't make it. Go. Nope.
I will hold the hand you offer to me, from the
Wow.
summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
It's such a good job. What if this is the end of the tunnel? The big cave that, I pointed out earlier, the abyss. say. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Someone's been hard at work. Away from reckoning, and to Scalby. I don't know. I can't read that. Oh boy, places like this right here just drive me crazy. I feel like stuff's going to fall down on my head. The whole tunnel's going to collapse. I can say though, if I can get more subscribers, more views, odds are of me being able to get a computer are a lot higher. I could become a YouTube partner, you know, all that fun stuff. Wow. What if you could drown if you're in the water long enough? See, that's water. It's fuzzy. I mean, if you look at any type of water, it's not, you know, naturally in the environment, it's not clear. Not solid, perfectly clear. It's always a hue to it. No matter what. You could argue with me if you want, but I'm going across. Nope, I'm going to fall, aren't I? Don't fall. Nope. Whoa. What? This is new. Guess, wow. Guess I'm up. Wow, so that was more like a hallucination or something. That's cool. See, that's how you do stuff. This game's been like in development for a couple years now, but the guy who's doing it is just doing a really good job. Man, my hat off to you, sir. Another hole? Okay, no. Excuse me. Oh, there's a tent. Interesting. Box of candles. Pretty sure I can't get in there. Yeah. That'd be cool.
The moon over the Sandford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sandford Junction is too strong.
Now, I remember in this section that there was a guy on a cliff around here somewhere. I wonder if that's it. I'll see him walk up. Or is he actually there? Yeah, he is. Hey, buddy. Why are you running away from me? I'm on to ya. Wow. Or is that the future
We shall
me?
begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections.
Okay.
We will paint a moon over the Sandford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
That's creepy right there. I do have to say, this is beautiful. If you've waited and kept on watching this long. Wow. This section right here actually reminds me of Halo Reach's Forge World, the cave entrance right here. Except it doesn't go all the way through. Oh. Piano, I love it. It's original. It's fresh. You can feel the emotion. Wow. You see the lines over there scratched into the rocks.
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls in the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
That chant's kind of creepy.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Yeah, creepy. I have one question. How did the boats get into this area? Oh, maybe right there. But that just doesn't seem like a safe entrance. Pool seems a little too high for me. Is he still over there? Looks like it.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
There he is. Wow, I don't... Last time I played this game, I don't remember him standing around. No! I want to go up so I can see him. I need to get closer. Oh. After this is where he's going to disappear. Gone. Creepy.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me.
Yep, he's gone.
I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Have I mentioned how beautiful this game is? And as life was proceeding, his journey. And as life was proceeding on his journey. Okay. And was come near. I don't know. Stuff's turning bluer.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Interesting. You feel cold, get really hot. Within an infection, what would happen? Now you're starting to come out of the infection, possibly? I don't know.
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
Yeah, you're dead. Oh, good lord.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the cage traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus. Paul sat at the roadside, hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Feels like you're a pipe.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobson? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobson flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Don't jump. Damn.
Come back.
Is that it? I think that's it. Pretty sure that's it. Why is the screen why is the screen black? I'm still recording. Supposed to freeze here or something? Nope. I think that's it. Well, I enjoyed the game. It's a good story, creepy to an extent. Subscribe, like, stay tuned for more.